House of the Dead
came out in 2003, directed by Bull.
Yes, he was like the first guy to do multiple video game adaptations, and all of them except Hitman sucked absolute ass, and he's apparently a mega cunt about it. At the time, timely, of course, I will plug. Ryan Hollinger just made a video about this, which is wonderful.
He cheats. He knew we were gonna do this, and he stole our thunder. What a dick.
I DM'd him.
I love him.
Me too. But apparently the director would threaten to like fight people for shitting on his movie. Like he asked them to street fight about it, which is, if he wasn't serious, that'd be really funny. But it sounds like he was like actually serious and like a mega cunt.
He did House of the Dead. I think Alone in the Dark is a game, maybe.
Yes.
Blood Rain and Blood Rain 2 and Far Cry.
Yeah.
And Alone in the Dark 2.
I don't want to talk about Far Cry. I've seen it. I don't want to ever do that.
Interesting.
House of the Dead is
and Blood Rain 3.
House of the Dead is a pseudo prequel to the first game, which of course are a series of light-based gun arcade games, which everyone has probably played at some point in their life.
He also did a shit-ass Rampage movie.
But not that Rampage.
And another Rampage movie.
What the fuck? This guy's whack.
And House of Evil.
Alright. House of the Dead, the games are fun, but there's nothing to them. I've never engaged with them critically. There's a bunch of them, but most arcades that still have like older machines will still have one.
Yep.
The gun-based light shooters are so much fun, dude.
Yes.
I hate on-rails shooters at home, but in an arcade with the old school 80s lights and shit, these are fun. This is a kind of a soft prequel to the first game. This is genuinely one of the worst movies I've seen in my life, except for the fact that it's still coherent. It is really bad, but I've seen things that don't qualify as films, you know? They're so chopped and fucked that they don't make any sense. They're not movies. This is somehow still a movie that was released in theaters. Like, it wasn't a straight to VOD streaming slop. This is like a real thing. I fucking hated this, and yet I still kind of had fun with it because it was so bad.
This ended my sobriety.
I understand your brainworms now, despite the fact that you don't seem to get this.
I hated this. I was the most cringe on my phone, reading a book, listening to music, watching this. Like, it's not over yet. What the fuck is happening? I couldn't take it. It broke me. This
felt like the stuff that you love watching. You're like, Dev, I'm gonna watch some bad cringe movies, but they're so bad they're funny. This was a little, not so bad it's funny, like what's something I think is shit but I still like?
Friday the 13th.
I still am not quite there yet, but you're right on the point.
You're working on it.
I'm working on it. I'm almost done.
There's enjoyable things to that where it's like, you can see the cut where the monster suddenly turns into like a Velcro thing and they behead the Velcro thing. Like, that's funny. This is like, let's do a 20-minute slow-mo montage of unlimited ammo. Everybody's just blasting, and it's so overhyped and like over edited and overdone that it's just fucking boring. It lasts so long that it doesn't do anything new. It's just people blasting.
I was so bored and fucking mad that the first like 20 minutes were a bunch of really annoying college kids trying to go to a fucking rave. It was so disengaging. We agreed on this. You started watching it before me and you're like, oh dear God, you're in for something. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. I got so close to turning it off because it was so fucking maddening, and then it only got better because things did start going boom. It looked like shit and none of it was really enjoyable, but at least I was stimulated.
Clearly filmed in a backyard.
Oh yeah.
I love the rave that's hosted by Sega. That made me laugh.
Yeah.
It's got like borderline strippers dancing in front of the Sega sign. It's like, did Sega really approve of this?
Probably.
Like, really?
Sega do be edgy like that. They got what Nintendo don't. Don't forget.
I've never seen Sega strippers.
But their Mortal Kombat has blood instead of the cum sweats. You know, don't forget. Yeah, this was really fucking bad. Also, that rave was the tiniest thing I've seen in my life. They're like, it's like Fire Festival is like the modern comparison to what it should have been, because Fire Festival obviously it didn't happen, it was fake, whatever. Pathetic little whimper. This concert looked like the smallest venue I've been to, and we go to metal shows, which have tiny venues by comparison.
Basement metal shows.
Yeah, this had...
Firefest, is that different from Burning Man?
Yes, Burning Man is real, and that's where all the really rich hippies go to do a bunch of acid and get stuck in the mud. And,
Okay.
And then Fire Festival was the one where it was like a fake investment event where the guy was like, yeah, it's totally real, and then he gave them like tents.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I think the orgy tent at Burning Man got like blown over in a hurricane this year or something.
It was, the past few years, Fire Festival gets real fucked up because... quite ironic, because it's all the really rich pseudo woke kids of like CEOs going to go do ecstasy or whatever, and it's like the thing that actually gets all of the all of the climate problems caused by those companies their dads work for end up fucking Firefest. It's really funny in a very morbid way. A lot of people die there, which is fucking wild. But yeah, this venue was as big as your house tops. It was so small. There's like 2 tents and a stage that was like 10 feet. It was...
We've been to bigger microbreweries.
Yes. The basement shows that I watch...
Live music.
the basement shows that I watch with one of our patrons is bigger than this.
Yes.
That was like, it's a big festival. They're paying so much money to go watch. And it's like, this is...
empty.
I've been to strip clubs bigger than this by a wide margin.
But were there Sega strippers there?
No, there were boobies in this movie.
I'm gonna have to check eBay for Sega strippers later.
I think you might need to go to a more scandalous website for that, but
Craigslist?
Etsy. I think the only thing in this that I kind of didn't hate was the stupid Captain Kirk jokes. For some reason, they were like, yeah, the guy's named Captain Kirk, and we're gonna make jokes about him not liking the Star Trek joke. It wasn't funny, but it was something. Everybody dies in the movie, and not in like a cool way. They're all like, I'm gonna sacrifice myself for the group, and then 2 minutes later someone else has to sacrifice themselves for the group. And
I was legit ass reading a book at the end of this.
I think
halfway through the firefight, and then like the rest of the movie, I was just like, oh, it's still on.
I think I was on Reddit, probably. They tried to do kind of like traditional voodoo zombies, like actual reanimated corpses, but by a Spanish guy. All of that was fucking whack as shit. And they're like, this guy is evil. He does magic, and he's from Spain. The poster for this movie is 10 times better than anything in the movie.
Yep.
The poster slaps.
Yep.
And the house of House of the Dead is like a shack.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure this is definitely the worst movie I've watched this year, and I have watched like 4 public domain Mickey Mouse horror movies. This was fucking abhorrent, and it was made for like $20 million. Do you know how many starving babies in Africa we could have fed for this? Apparently the sequel is even worse too, which is impressive. At least that one went straight to VOD.
I have 6 movies below this one for this year.
Are you okay?
It's been a rough year, my guy.
Did you talk to somebody?
It's been a really bad year.
Yeah, they hid the guns underneath the fish in the smuggling crates, and the captain didn't give a fuck. He knew what movie he was in. He didn't give a fuck. This was I've seen much better student films.
Oh yeah,
much better bad student films, because sometimes student films kind of go hard. I've seen better music videos from like strippers who make music. This was really fucking bad. This is tied with Rampage for last place for video game movies. I think I would watch Rampage more purely because there's more
visual stimulation.
I was gonna say I can make more jokes about Dwayne Johnson's titties, but they're very different types of abhorrently bad. There's also a lot of really funny racist jokes we made during Rampage, which was quite fun. there were definitely some bits in there that were weird.
I was definitely hammered through that.
We were both fucked up. I would go back to the 2 hours I spent vomiting around a campfire and then trying to hug you. That was more enjoyable than watching Rampage and House of the Dead. Never again.
Yep.
Never forget.
And probably none of the rest of his movies either.